Hey guys, welcome to Bavarians United. Welcome to another video. And right now it's talking about Philippe Coutinho, and him is officially joined Bayern Munich on a season-long loan for 20 million euros and with an option to buy of 120 million euros. Now, Philippe Coutinho has left Barcelona. It's been very tricky his time at Barcelona, because he started very well on those. He signed in January 2018 and played very well for Barcelona. He had a pretty decent moment for 6 months of the season, but at the start of the 2018-2019 season, then that's when things started to go wrong, because he did start playing in midfield, in that interior role, in that Iniesta role that he was brought in to play as. But quickly we lose in Leganes, and all of a sudden Coutinho finds himself playing in the forward line, competing for the Neymar spot that Ousmane Dembele was trying to replace, that he was supposed to replace. And the most important thing that it's not Coutinho's fault that he hasn't succeeded at Barcelona. It is partially his fault. He does have some fault, because I think that he should have given better attitude when in the pitch. Even if you cannot play well, if you're not playing well, if you're not getting things done, at least have an attitude and, press or just do something, contribute to something, at least defensively. But the 90% of the responsibility on Coutinho failing is our fault, and it is the fault of anyone that did not say anything when all of a sudden the new Iniesta happens to be playing in the forward line. Because the reality is that we brought Coutinho to be the new Iniesta, and we brought Dembele to be the new Neymar. That is what was supposed to happen. But Coutinho all of a sudden happens to play in the forward line, and I don't see anyone complaining about this, of thinking that this is not right. And he's joined Bayern on a loan. I think it was probably the best place that he could have got to, that it was in the Premier League. I think the Bundesliga has a little bit less, is going to demand less of Coutinho. He's going to be able to play much more relaxed. I just think, and it's not bashing the Bundesliga. They have great teams, and it is a good league. It's just that it's not as good as La Liga or the Premier League. But Bayern Munich, with the dominance that they have, with hopefully Coutinho being able to get back his best form, they have a really good squad in Coman, in Gnabry, Lewandowski, Thiago, Tolisso. They have great players. And I think Coutinho playing the number 10 spot for Niko Kovac, the role that James Rodriguez played last season, really suits Coutinho. I think that if he can, learn to contribute a little bit more defensively, and they're able to give him the freedom that he needs, then he's going to be able to contribute a lot. He's going to be able to lead the play, to start their attacks, to be the leader of the attack, which is what wasn't happening for him in Barcelona for obvious reasons. As Messi was in that role, Coutinho really needs that to be the best version of himself. I think that the coach that has been able to get the best out of Coutinho is Brendan Rodgers, and he understood that Coutinho needs to be the leader of the attacks to be able to contribute the best. And I hope that I have great belief in Kovac. I don't think that he's the best manager in the world. I think that the performances that he was able to get out of James Rodriguez were really great, and I see a much better James Rodriguez than the one that left Real Madrid 2 seasons ago. So I hope that by the end of the season I'm going to be able to see a better Coutinho, and who knows, maybe we can recover Coutinho, and if Rakitic, Busquets, Vidal, if they're not at a fantastic level and they haven't performed well, and if it's time for them to go, and Frankie de Jong all of a sudden it's a really solid player defensively for Barcelona, then maybe a midfield of Arthur, Coutinho, Frankie de Jong could be in the line, could be in the future, with Ricky Puig and Arena waiting for the moment and Sergio Roberto helping covering that position, then it could be possible. I leave the door open for that to happen. For Coutinho to finally learn how to play midfield, to associate better with the other interiors and the pivot and all the other players much better, to be able to at least be able to defend by being positioned in the proper way, to help press in the proper sense. And I leave the door open for Coutinho to come back to Barcelona. Or if he gets back his best level and he gets back his, the way that he used to be, which was one of the best players in the world, then maybe Chelsea, who need a hazard replacement and are going to be able to sign for next summer, could get a replacement in. The likes of Liverpool might be interested, Manchester City, PSG, Juventus. There are options for Coutinho to go to if Bayern don't want to sign him, but he'll be costing 120 million euros for Bayern. That means that we've so far paid 135 million euros for Coutinho. We hadn't paid 160. It was 120 million plus 40 add-ons. And out of those add-ons, we paid so far a total of collectively 135 million euros. So if Bayern did sign Coutinho from his buyout clause, then we would make even a little bit of profit. That is the less important thing. I think that we just need to focus on Coutinho getting back his best form, and then if they were gonna sign Coutinho, then that's great. I want to put it out that James Rodriguez did have a very successful spell at Bayern Munich, at least in my opinion. The only reason that he didn't sign a contract with Bayern is that he personally asked them to now trigger the buyout clause, because I guess he wasn't comfortable at Bayern in Germany, but he wanted to come back to Spain and fight for his spot at Real Madrid. But it can not be the same for Coutinho, and maybe in 12 months' time he will be joining Bayern Munich officially on a permanent, and it would suit all parties. Coutinho is a player that we betrayed. It's a player that we didn't give him the maximum opportunities for him to succeed at Barcelona, and he's always going to be. It's always going to leave a bad spine in my backbone. Like, I'm always going to think that what could have been a Philippe Coutinho, to a point I want him to succeed and come back to Barcelona, because he's a player that I wish we would have given a proper opportunity, and maybe with a different coach he would have gotten the opportunity. But the thing is that with the future of midfield looks very secure in the likes of Ricky Puig, Alenya, Frenkie de Jong, Artur, and bringing in someone that needs to adapt to a position, it's not necessarily securing the future, especially because Coutinho will be 28 when he comes back at the end of the season. So, it may be in a different time Coutinho would have been perfect for Barcelona, but at this time I could just wish him the best of luck. He will be in a dominant league. He will be in a team that it's gonna win by default most of the games. It's a team that has really good players. I think that supplying Lewandowski could be very similar in the way that he supplied Suarez in his last few seasons at Liverpool. And I think that with players that that attack this space and have so much pace like Gnabry and Koeman, him being able to be the maestro of the attack, the orchestrator of that forward line, it would really benefit Coutinho. He, together with his form in Brazil in the Copa America, he did play a little bit better. He looked much more like himself, and I'm sure that whatever he decides to end his career at, and whenever he decides to go, whether it's to stay at Barcelona and at the end of the season, or join Bayern or whatever, I'm sure that Coutinho, it's always gonna be leaving that sense that what could have been. And it is really sad because Coutinho showed so much promise at Liverpool and left the Premier League as one of the best players in the world. So it's pretty much yet to see what's going to happen. I wish him the best of luck. Thanks Coutinho for for your services at Barcelona. For although you didn't properly succeed, thank you for being here, and I wish you the best of luck. And maybe we'll see you in 12 months time, or maybe we'll you go somewhere else. And I can just say again, have good luck in Munich. And with all said and done, let me know your opinions in the comment section below. What do you think of Coutinho, of his loan signing for Bayern? Do you think it's a good deal or not? Let me know your opinions in the comment section below. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Blaugranas.